Dear Onodera-senpai, I always had a crush on you. No, this doesn't sound right. I crumbled the letter and tossed it behind me. I had done the same thing for a few dozen times already. I was starting to accumulate crumbled up letters to the point I couldn't see the floor anymore. Ah, Jesus, why is it so difficult? I scratched my head. I'm Toru Terashima. I was trying to write a letter to Eri Onodera-senpai, a senior who is a year older than me in the same school club. It was an old-fashioned love letter confessing my true feelings to her. Onodera-senpai was a smart girl. She was a mix of a bookworm and a STEM girl, and she was both a realist and a romantic at the same time. When she was reading a romantic novel while wearing a lab coat with her long hair tied back, I was about to collapse from my feelings towards her. Onodera-senpai is so beautiful, even in my memories. No, I don't have any time for this. I have to write this up. Come on, my inner novelist. I need to flow my feelings onto this paper. Dear Onodera-senpai, I had two reasons for trying to write an old-fashioned love letter at this day and age. Firstly, I always told Onodera-senpai that I liked her, but she never took them as confessions from me. Last week, I told senpai that I like her right before I felt like I was collapsing from my feelings for her. I was pretty serious, but she just went, haha, thanks, it makes me happy to hear that. I felt like Onodera-senpai wouldn't take my feelings seriously unless I pushed her against the wall and whispered the words of love into her ears. Secondly, I heard that she fantasized about getting a written confession. But when I searched on the internet, apparently you should never confess through a messaging app. A call is better than a message, but it's said that it's still a no-no. That being said, a phone call doesn't involve any written communication, so I decided to write a love letter. I mean, I only had that option left. There, done. Dear Miss Eri Onodera, I may have surprised you with the sudden letter, but this is my true feelings for you. I, Toru Terashima, has a romantic feeling for you, Eri Onodera. You made me fall in love when...
Nyago.
You're here again. I was revising my letter to make sure I didn't have any spelling mistakes or unreadable handwriting. I heard a cat meow. I looked up and there was a cat on my window frame. He was a white cat with a collar. He came here every day for past few weeks. He usually hung around for a while and then left without a sound. I called him Nago. Nago, you have an owner, right? Why are you here every single day?
Nyago.
He was a cat after all. He didn't have a care in the world. I was tired writing up the love letter, so I put the letter in the envelope and pulled out something out of the drawer. Here, you can have this.
Yeah?
I took out a cat's treat, the famous one that was rumored to be addictive than a catnip. He seemed to know what it was, and he jumped on me to get it. You don't have to eat so quickly like that. I've still got some left. Oh, you've already eaten?
Non.
Are you fed at home?
Non.
Nago was crying, begging for more. He looked kinda sad. But I don't want to make you full to the point you can't eat a meal properly back home.
Non.
You're always clean and you don't smell bad. You have somewhere to go home to, right?
Nago.
Oh geez, fine, just one more. I'll get it for you, so wait there. I didn't think he understood, but I made him wait and went out of my room. Because I never intended to overfeed him, I only had one in my room. It didn't do a trick at all. Since I was going to go and get one, I wasn't planning on giving him more, so I only took one back. I mean, he was begging because I gave him the treat in the first place. It was partially my fault. I hope that the owner will forgive me for doing it. Here, this is the last one. Oh, Nago? When I went back to my room, Nago wasn't there anymore. He was so mysterious. Or he left because he didn't think I went to get him another treat. He just thought I left. Well, he'll be here tomorrow again. I should continue revising that. Oh? I was going to continue revise the love letter. And there was no love letter anymore on my desk. Wait, was it blown away? It could have fallen off the table because the windows was open. I thought and looked around the table, but I couldn't see anything. Did I put it somewhere? Oh, wait. I opened the drawer and looked closely around my desk. Eventually, I found it. But it wasn't my love letter. It was a clear paw print on my eraser. You got to be kidding me.
なん
Nago? I heard Nago crying and I looked out of the window. There was Nago on a fence. My love letter was in his mouth and he was looking very proud about it. Yo, Nago, give that back to me.
にゃ
Hey, wait, Nago, come back. I called, but Nago kept walking on the fence, away from me. Fuck, that letter isn't for you. I quickly went outside, but Nago was already far away. I started running at full speed to get him. I wasn't mad that Nago took my letter away. I remember what I wrote, so I can just write it up again. But he had already taken it outside. I didn't want him to drop it anywhere. What would happen if Nago dropped it and if my classmate found it? Onodera-senpai was famous for being beautiful, so people was gonna start a rumor that I wrote a love letter to her. I didn't want to confess to her through rumors. That would be worse than a confession through a message. Wait, Nago, I'll give you the treat, so just give me that letter back.
なん
Fuck, it's no good. Papers are only supposed to be eaten by goats. You shouldn't be eating that. I ran while I screamed nonsense, and I went around the corner because Nago did too. We repeated that for about a few hundred meters. I arrived at a park near my house. I got you.
なん
Nago, please, give me the letter back. Huh? Where did you put the letter? I thought I finally caught him, but he didn't have the letter anymore. I chased him from behind so he didn't drop it anywhere. If that was the case. So you put it somewhere. Oh, Onodera-senpai?
So this letter is addressed to me, right?
Onodera-senpai asked me. She was holding a letter and an envelope which was already opened.
Nekojiro brought me the letter and I saw my name on it, so I opened it. This is a love letter, correct?
I understood two things that moment. One, Nago's name was not Nago, and he had a very fancy name. His name was Nekojiro. Two, Nekojiro's owner was Onodera-senpai. He was currently purring because Onodera-senpai was scratching his throat.
I want to ask you one thing. Why love letter in this age?
That's because I heard that you wanted to receive one. It was my preference to write a letter rather than sending a message. I could only think of writing a letter as an alternative to the messaging app.
I did say that I would love to get a confession through a written message. I dream of getting a letter like this. Can you guess why?
I have no idea.
Terashima-kun, you're honest. It's because it doesn't perish.
It doesn't perish?
If someone confessed me through a messaging app, it can disappear. If it's a call, you could pretend like it didn't happen. But if it's a letter, it remains as sentences in a substance. That's why I dream of getting one.
Onodera-senpai looked like a dreamy romantic girl while explaining her thought process logically. It seemed like I made a right choice by choosing letters as the medium. But I didn't think a letter soaked in cat saliva was romantic. Can I rewrite that letter?
Why?
It's kinda sticky with saliva. I mean, if you were gonna reject it, I wouldn't.
If you want to rewrite it, you can.
Thanks.
But I'm not giving back this letter.
Huh? Why? A question had popped into my head. She quickly answered my question.
Don't you think it's amazing to be able to tell that our relationship had started from a love letter delivered by a cat?
That means...
I like you too, Terashima-kun. I mean, who wouldn't start to think about it when you told me that you liked me so many times?
Oh my god! So she said yes. We both liked each other.
Now, there's one thing that must be done since we're dating.
Huh? What?
You're gonna make me say it? Here, my lip and your lip.
Ah. I slowly approached her and kissed Onodera-senpai, who had her eyes closed. I didn't dare to say that only couples in Fantasy World kiss each other right away after they started going out. Onodera-senpai was blushing. She's a scientist, a bookworm, and a romantic girl in love. Senpai, you're too cute.
That's not how you call me, now that we're a couple.
Oh, true. Erisan, I'll take care of you. Nyago! Ah, you were here too. I forgot.
Our relationship started from him.
Nekojiro screamed to say that we needed to thank him too. So I brought him lots of treats afterwards.